next scheduled one is June 17th.
I figured we fed 60 people
Yeah.
all together. We
Yeah.
went out,
Yeah,
takeout
Well,
boxes, but
it's a better facility for it because there's an elevator for the people that just can't get around so well, and it's very roomy. So that's it for me.
It's good to see the pickleball courts are being used as well down there at Friendship Park.
Yeah.
That's,
They look good, real good.
they came out really good, and at some point, we want to consider just to continue the expansion of Friendship Park as far as beautifying it.
Yes.
Maybe, I know there's fences and stuff that are going in at some point, but it's a big ticket item, but it would be nice to pave that too. as
Oh,
well.
I said it would.
Yeah.
I drove through it yesterday, saying the same thing to myself, being as it was.
it's amazing that when you combine daylight hours, how many cars are out there using that park at
Yeah,
this
There's a
point.
lot of use.
It don't, daylight to dark, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
being used, so.
Well, they're gonna do away with daylight savings, right?
we'll make our own.
We have to start early next year. Any deletions or additions to the agenda?
Unless you want to add the discussion of the correspondence to the reporter.
Yeah, we can add that under 9D.
90, yeah.
And I accept the motion to add that to, as 9D.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
One extension.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
Appointments. Heidi,
That's me.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Oh, I have to come up there.
You do?
I will.
Come on.
Feel so official. So I guess I'm just giving a quick update on tax acquired properties. We honestly don't have that many.
That's good.
We've had a lot of people come in and either pay them in full or start making large payments on them. I think, I mean, we've had probably 4 or 5 pay all of their back taxes in full and get deeded back to them or discharge all their liens or whatever their situations were. There's probably only a couple I would feel comfortable even sending a notice of intent to sell, because the rest of them are all making an effort to
That's good.
actually get caught up.
Mhm.
There are a couple that I'm aware of that we're working with, but, I mean, really, there's only 1 or 2
Good.
that I would feel comfortable sending a notice to. The rest are all making payments.
It's outstanding.
And can you
Good.
touch base on some of these special systems we installed? That you've collected some of the sewer systems too, yours.
Yeah, so, yeah, we only have one, well, there's one that, 2. We have 2 septic systems, liens, outstanding. We collected 2 in full. So, I mean, we have one that was just put in place 2 years ago, and there's one that's outstanding from about 4 years still, that we're still, I can't even get a hold of the person. So that's kind of,
That's not bad of a town of our size, really.
no, I mean, when I started, we had just discovered that these even existed. Like
Right.
rediscovered that they even existed. So even to have 2 of them paid in full, and they were pretty substantial amounts,
Mhm.
is huge. One of them, the property sold, so the title company paid it, out of the proceeds and whatever. I don't care how we got the money, but we got it, that's
Right.
all that matters.
Yeah.
We've been sending letters for that. We've just been sending balance sheets to people. I know Amber's been sending them just kind of periodically.
Your postcards too.
Yep, we're working on sending out balance due postcards. Those will go out this week. I actually have them sitting on my desk. So those will go out this week, and then people will hopefully come in and pay the rest of this year's taxes. Liens will be next month, so.
Good.
But, I mean, overall, I feel like this year I feel like we have significantly less
Good.
outstanding taxes already.
Good job. Thank you.
2 or 3 years of liens before you go get, to put this into real estate hands? How many years? 2 or 3 or 4?
Before we foreclose, you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It matures at 18 months,
okay.
so a year and a half. But we don't just list them at 18 months.
Right.
There's a whole process
Right.
for it.
It
That
takes-
is now going through legislation to potentially change again,
Yes.
which is another reason that I'm kind
Kinda
of
why
biding my
I'm,
time.
that's kinda why I'm asking.
Yeah.
But it had been historically before 3 years, I think, for Waterboro, is what he's talking about, before.
Oh,
That's what they've looked at, I think,
Before we acted on it, right?
Right.
in years past.
oh, I see.
That's what I think he was referencing that.
I see what you're saying. I am unaware of a timeline that we had set. I just know that we foreclose on them after 18 months. And if they are not at least making an effort, then I send a letter that just says, hi, you owe us money. If you don't communicate with me, I will send an official letter of intent to sell. That usually gets their attention, and then I don't actually have to. I've only sent one official letter of intent to sell, and then the person came in with a check a month later.
Imagine that.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Good.
So, yeah,
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
you're welcome.
Good, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any public comment? Correspondence, financial reports are posted on the website. Waterboro Water District minutes have been received. The York County Sheriff's Office reports for April 2025, and the motor vehicle report for April 2025 is available. You can find that, most of that on the website, or just give us a call to Laura, and she certainly will get you a copy. Reports and staff initiatives, selectmen's report, doing
I
anything?
have nothing.
David,
No, sir, thank you.
Gary,
Just want to continue with the Old Home Days Committee, that meeting on the 17th next?
Yes.
Phew, I'll leave it at that. It's getting close, and they're doing a great job, just wrapping things up, so, and the date of it again?
July 19th.
19th, July 19th.
No meeting on June 12th?
I think there's 2. We're scheduled 2 for June. One, we're planning to meet at the actual school, just to kind of survey everything from there, so.
Parade or no parade?
No parade. The logistics are a nightmare, so we are not doing a parade. And instead of 2 days, we're only doing 1 day, which I think has hindered our vendor applications this year. But we still have at least 8 or 9, so.
anything else, Gary?
I'm good.
John? Anything?
Thank you.
And I'm all set. Off to Matt.
A few things for you. Budget review. Amber and I have gone through the expense lines, looking for any needed adjustments or transfers. We're gonna look at that closely for the next weeks as well, but if we have anything we see, we'll either present it to you for the first meeting in June or your second meeting in June. But right now, we're looking pretty good in all the account lines. We have sent messages out to all the department heads as well, just letting them know to see us before they make any large purchases, to keep the budget in balance. Public Works Garage update, planning board last week, and they approved the plans as submitted. Sebago Tech is finalizing the bid documents. Hopeful that those will be distributed and sent out the first week of June. And then once those come back in, I would anticipate that we're looking at probably either the first or second meeting in July for you guys to be presented with those Loyolas. Some of the things we'll be responsible, I guess, for the state permitting and central main power, after our last meeting with Owens. And I know we're gonna talk about this in your agenda later on, but, I just wanna make my comment about you read all the articles last week in the Reporter regarding the sheriff's office, published by Sheriff King. I'm disappointed that the article did not specifically discuss our concerns and comments regarding the contract, and other issues were brought up that weren't really the problems that we noticed, or that were expressed here by the board. And I just want to reiterate the fact that there was no discussion to defund the police, and this is purely a contract language issue. Pickleball court's been completed, thank you, Jason, and the crew down there. Of course, look awesome. This past week, we received, I think, 6 emails this week from folks that have been using it. They're very happy with it. It was actually nice to see some good comments.
Are there any lights going up over there eventually?
We didn't have the funds for that, we
Okay.
did before, but there's some pole lights out back, and I'm not sure that this is gonna really
Yeah.
allow it to be lit up. We talked
But
to,
if
we talked to
we-
electrician.
If we light it, we have to meet the,
Certain lighting standards, yeah.
Yeah, so, and thanks to Public Works, we're getting the bleachers installed. I know there's one set that's done at Friendship Park, I think there's 2 other sets, one's going to Lions Club and then another at Friendship, correct? Selectman Factor already talked about June 17th, all the senior luncheon. And Jason did provide a couple updates for projects that will be coming up, and what's been completed. Street sweeping has been completed town-wide. The ditching has started on Strawmill Brook Road, and then that will follow with Ospey Hill Road, and then ditching on New Dam Road, which will go from the bridge to Otter Drive. Paving projects will include Ospey Hill Road, New Dam Road, and Ross Corner Road, and other smaller sections will be completed as well. And just, I will be out Thursday, and I also listed my 2 vacation weeks at the bottom of the handout that you have in July and August. That's it for now.
any questions, comments?
Nope.
All right, moving on to new business. Let me get my agenda back up here. This Item 9A, discuss to appoint a member to the Community Garden Committee.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Barbara Kuchar to the Community Garden Committee.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Discuss to appoint a member to the Old Home Days Committee.
I'll make that motion that we appoint Brenda Forges to the committee.
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Discuss vote on Matthew McBean's resignation from the Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion as you just stated.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor of accepting the motion? Let's discuss the response to Sheriff King's letter, the report.
I would like to add something in there that our contract deputies are being used to answer routine calls in other towns. And that's a clear violation of the contract, because the contract says that they can leave town for due an emergency, a bad accident, a deputy needs backup, something of that magnitude. We have no problem with that whatsoever. But to be assigned towns to answer calls in that are just routine calls, it's been going on for a long time. We talked to them about this, and it's still happening. And it was 1 month, for correct me wrong, Matt, we should be getting billed like $60,000 a quarter, because the total cost was 200 something, and our bill was like 40 some odd dollars. So when we inquired about it, is when they do answer calls while they're on duty for us, they charge the time off to the general budget. And in a meeting that Dennis and I had with the chief deputy and the sheriff, Dennis said, we supplemented your budget by 33%. That's how much they use on the guys. So we're not getting the 80 hours that the voters wanted and voted in. We're getting less than that. And it's been going on forever. And that was something that kind of started the whole ball rolling because, you know, why is this happening? Yeah, they're understaffed. That's why we chose as a town to hire 2 people to have people pay attention to our town, but they're using them elsewhere. We've asked for deputies to be at some of our events. Somehow that just doesn't happen, but yet they took our Waterboro contract deputy last year and sent him down to a function in Goodwin's Mills on our time, but we can't get them at our own function? Those are the sort of problems that we've come across. So if we could add something like that, if the board agrees with me, with David abstaining, that's one of the biggest reasons, to me, you know, that we're not getting our money's worth.
The other thing to add to that is, we own 2 cruises. The town of Waterboro owns those cruises. And we pay for the gas going into them. But every time they're called out of town, they're using our cruiser and we're getting nothing back out of it. And when we get that cruiser back to be used for something else here in town other than a cruiser, the cruiser is stove all 2 pieces and it's been ripped apart and tore apart and it's nothing but junk that CIA doesn't even want, so,
The last
you
time it
know,
was
it's
returned to us was in
very
Port
poor
Michigan, sold it
condition. Yeah,
for pennies on the dollar.
Every 4 years we replace each one of those cruises, and in 4 years, it ain't gonna be stove up like this last one was. But we're just not getting, we're not getting our dollars. And I'll repeat what Mr. King put in the newspaper, it's double taxation. It's gotta be, because we're paying for it twice.
I'm in favor of having deputies that can patrol our town without the contract being violated. And I believe we're all, I don't want to speak for everybody, but that's the consensus during our talks is that this is the reason why we want to bring it to people's attention. It's not being done the way it's been designed, and that's met with them trying to change the language, and we're just not getting anywhere.
John, any comment?
No.
I would agree that, you know, we might add something to the letter of response that, you know, we're not, you know, we own the 2 cruises, and when they're off, my concern is that, you know, we gotta be a little gentle here, but in response, but, you know, I think if you wanna add language to the letter and response, then that's fine.
Okay. And I did speak to the chair of the budget committee as well, and I also sent it to the committee for them to review. So I didn't have any responses yet, but I know you've seen it.
So I would,
I wanna say that I am not, I agree that we probably do need these officers in town. But if we don't have them, we're still gonna get the same coverage. It may be 5 minutes later on a bad response, but they're gonna respond to us no matter whether we've got these 2 officers or not. They're gonna be pulling somebody out of Shapley or Acton or wherever that's working for these towns, It's, but the county needs to pick up the whole budget.
Yeah, my other concern was they count our deputies as the
Part of their minimum
part
staffing.
of the minimum of assignment.
Yes,
So,
it should not be.
so I would entertain a motion to let Matt send the response.
I'll second that. I'll make the motion that we do address it through a letter form as we have discussed.
Okay?
Going to the reporter?
Is that what we're gonna do with the sheriff and
Yeah,
he did it,
I
we can
mean,
do it too,
yeah.
so the people can know.
yeah.
Nobody wants to get into a match back and forth, we're just clarifying our position. We're not trying to DT fund.
So I will take a vote on that. You seconded, I mean.
I made the motion.
I'll second it.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstention? So we'll move on from there. Old business, discuss vote on the Spirit of America nominees. There's a couple of nominees in Victor and Roxy Wright, who done contributions to the Historical Society and the Festival of Trees. Jim and Judy Cow, many contributions to the Historical Society, Planning Board, other functions. Dawn and Diane, Historical Society, dam operator, and other community impacts, so.
All three of them have something in common, the
Yeah.
Historical Society. Would it be out of the question to do it as a group, to recognize them?
We did it last year, didn't
To,
For the historical.
okay,
Yeah, we did.
I don't think we're limited by the number of people we,
We can nominate as many as we
Right.
like.
Yeah.
so would you be okay with sending all those names?
Absolutely.
I would, yes.
I mean, they've all been doing a lot for this town for like a lot of years.
Yeah,
And it's hard to pick out just individuals because there's so many people that do a lot behind the scenes here in town. But these six definitely, they definitely stand out for all
Yes.
the volunteer time they've given to Waterboro.
yeah.
So with that, I make the motion. that we-
Okay, go ahead, I'll make a motion, go ahead and make the motion now.
All right, I'll make the motion that we nominate Victor and Roxy Wright, Jim and Judy Carl, even though Jim's not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah,
Dawn and Diane Holden,
I'll second that.
and that's for the Spirit of America.
Any
My comment is, I feel this Spirit of America should be done while you're living and not after you've passed away.
Correct.
I don't know, I don't like, giving honors to somebody that's passed away, to hand down to the family. I'd rather know that the person that has done it, or people that have done it, is honored before they pass.
Yep. I would agree. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Let's move up to,
I make a motion to accept the minutes of May sixth,
yeah,
2025.
I'll second that.
any discussion? All those in favor? I wasn't here, so I won't vote on it, but, pending decisions, so we've got the planning board decision on the Steve Everett zoning change request.
I take it they're still working on this.
Yeah, I think
They've sent letters out.
Yeah, I think they told me there was over 200 letters that had to go out in order to notify the abutters of this F&A. So, people that live in the F and A zone.
Week's action list, you're all set. Discussion of agenda items, if anybody wants to add something, please let me know by next Thursday. Right. Items needing signature, we have none. That being said, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved,
Second.
All those in favor?
6:25.